afternoon. I'm going to be producing a series of webinars, and this is the first one that I'm putting up. It's going to be on DISC personality traits. Um, Take your time to run through this. This is going to be worth it. Let me share with you what I'll be covering. In this webinar, I'll be covering two things, just two. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to walk you through towards understanding the DISC instrument, understand what it means, how you can apply it. And the other series of webinars, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you application, team disk distribution, and how can you create a functional team with disk. So the learning outcomes that I will run through just for this webinar itself, it's going to be you understanding the use of disk as a assessment tool, have an overview of the predominant four sets of behaviors described in DISC and the different personality dimensions. Now, all of us are familiar with personality. You've seen that guy, grouchy, and that guy, nice, smiley, and that person, soft-spoken, demure, quiet. So what are your thoughts on personality? It's really good if you could just think for a while and ask yourself, hey, what are my thoughts on personality? And of course, many of us would have done some type of personality assessment before. I'm sure you've done the one on Facebook, play the game, and then you get to know about yourself and you get really excited. There are others out there, Hogan's 360, Belbin, MBTI, traits mapping by OD2. So I'm quite familiar with the different tools I've actually used with senior management, executives, and managers over the years. And what I like about DISC is that it is simplistic, easy to use, allows you to apply it straight away. And this is where I go to this part, how do I guess a person's personality at work? So we cover that too, and it's pretty accurate. It's helped people that we have actually worked with. We've done work with the Home Team Academy, we've equipped police officers with skills, to just quickly read a person and try and interact with that person in an interpersonal way that's going to be very, very effective. Okay, moving on. Let's look at personality. What is personality? It's a individual behavioral pattern as well as how people view you. Okay, the kind of behaviors you personify. All of us are different. It'd be good if that happens in a team. Imagine, we're all from the same cookie cutter mold. What's going to happen? We're going to be the same, say the same things, have the same ideas, and high chance we're not going to be doing anything very creative. Okay, personal effectiveness centers on understanding not only yourself, your own personality traits, but once you get to know yourself, you can apply that to understand others. I'm going to introduce you to the tool DISC, D-I-S-N-C. Four simple alphabets. D connotates dominant, I influencing, S steadiness, C for conscientious. Okay. Now here's something interesting I want to share with you. If you take a look at the upper two quadrant, D and I, these are people who are considered fast-paced, outspoken. They want to get things done fast. So that's one concept that you got to kind of keep it in your head. Then the other one is CNS. CNS. These people are cautious and reflective. So a tendency for them to do things in a moderate pace is going to be quite apparent. Keep that too in your thinking when I cover the other parts of DISC. Here's the other set of dimensions that you need to be aware of. People in the I and S quadrant are very much people-centric. They are warm, they gravitate towards people, relationship, and in that sphere. Then the other group, D and C, they are more task-centric. They want to get things done. If I hurt your feelings in achieving the goals, it's okay. The important thing is the goal, the end result. The mountain has to be climbed. Doesn't matter how many Sherpas died along the way to do that. Okay, that's their approach in the very extreme. Okay. Now, more about personality traits. Your personality is a makeup of you and your parents, okay, your DNA. That plays a part. Then the other part is all about nurturing how you grew up, the kind of role models that were around you, experiences you went through after the age of 8. Your behavioral disposition is centered not only on the environment, but it's also on heredity. But the environment plays a bigger role. And whatever cards has been dealt up to you, think in a way whereby tell yourself that I can overcome this, I can make things, I can write a different story if I want to. You can adopt dispositions that is different from your private lives. What I mean here is this. I do work with people from the prisons, police, people from the uniformed services. A contrasting example would be the people from the prison services. Usually, if you look at them, they're big, strong, carry a baton with them, and at work, they're probably very stern, very, very stern, simply because they are handling inmates who are there for crimes they committed. Imagine the same person goes back home and he takes that same persona to his family. My goodness, the wife is gonna be living in a in another prison. So high chance he's not gonna behave like that. Get back home, it's going to be lovey-dovey, it's going to be like, hi honey, how are you, and all of that. Okay, so we can take on a disposition that is different from our private lives. Okay, so remember that. Now, what about DISC? It's a proven system. It's been used by over 40 million people, one of the more popular tools out there for working adults, and one of the more easier tools to use on yourself. Number one, apply it, and use it in a productive way. It was first used in 1928 by American psychologist William Marston. And I'm going to bring it back a little bit, back to historical underpinnings. Many, many years ago, even the Greek philosophers saw a need to understand people based on their behavior, based on the way they think. Empedocles was a Greek philosopher. He came up with 4 descriptors to describe traits. The 4 descriptors are earth, air, fire, and water. Hippocrates, known for his impact on medical science, he realized there was also a need to understand people in their mental dimensions, and he coined this word: choleric, sanguine, phlegmatic, melancholy. Carl Jung in 1921, you had more research done. He came up with MBTI. MBTI is a little bit more complex. This is funny. I work with a lot of clients, and I always ask them, "Can you remember anything by MBTI?" And every time, a lot of them go like, "I know my alphabets, but I've forgotten the rest." So DISC that was developed by William Marston in 1928 is a little bit more simpler. It looks at 4 quadrants only. It allows you to know yourself and allows you to apply it. Now, DISC, it is a psychometric instrument. It's non-clinical. And what it does is that it will measure a cluster of behavior. What I mean here is this, how do you go about doing things? Are you someone who's driven, you want to get things done quickly, you want to make sure that task is completed, or are you someone who is meticulous? You go through line by line, you look at every comma. You're like an accountant, you look at every 5 cents that was actually spent. Okay, so it looks at a cluster of behavior and it provides you with your behavioral preference. And this is where the acronyms come in. Where are you? Are you at the D quadrant? Are you at the I quadrant, C or S? Okay. Now it is most useful in creating self-awareness and situational awareness. It's fantastic when you use it with a team. If you're working in a team, it's going to be helpful for the leader to know what are the traits of the people in the team. So it gives him an opportunity to allocate responsibilities and tasks that is aligned with their best self, things that they want to do or they like to do. Now, here's the other bit. There's no such thing as a best cut profile. Okay, don't look at your demigod hero, who was a dictator, and you go like, yeah, I want to be like him. Okay. Singapore is going to be like, oh, Lee Kuan Yew, yes, my way or the highway. Or I shouldn't say that. He was a good man. Anyway, so there's no such thing as the best cut profile. Awesome people, awesome leaders have actually come out of all the four quadrants. In fact, I've got one startling data, facts, and science to show for in terms of a leader that emerged from this group of highly competent professionals. And this man wasn't a Heidi. Okay, so watch out for my future webinars. I'm going to share with you hardcore numbers, data, where you see an emergence of people who come out as leaders in the S quadrant, in the C quadrant. Okay, the disc profile will not reveal your innate personality, your core personality. Okay, instead it reveals how your personality responds to your environment. Okay, the disc profile is primarily centered on you doing work in a workplace and how do you react to circumstances. Disc is not a measurement of intelligence, core personality, your value system, or your skill sets, and it should not be used as a limiting label. Remember to what I said earlier, you have the capability to decide what behaviors you want to personify in the environment you're in. So don't limit yourself. Don't say, hey, I'm gonna, oh, the results came out and you go like, oh, I'm a D, oh my goodness, ooh, this is a people culture kind of environment. Oh my goodness, what's my boss gonna think? Oh, I'm gonna make a change. No. so don't let the letter limit you. Use it as feedback and then ask yourself, what am I going to do things differently? So you are the best judge of who you are. Let me describe the four dimensions. The D style, dominant style. They show drive. They like to challenge the status quo. They're assertive. They share their points, aggressively maybe, and they always want to look at the bottom line. They're forceful, direct, and strong-willed. Ask yourself, am I like that, or do I know people who are like that? Okay, I style can be described as influencing. You're into relationship. Folks who are in this particular style are awesome communicators, and they're friendly with the people that they meet. They're optimistic, friendly, and they're talkative, and it's a nice folks, to be around. And then you have S style. If you still remember what I shared earlier, their pace is moderate, but they're people centric. Okay, they show steadiness, they're secure, they're good listeners, and they're great team players. They're steady, patient, loyal, and practical. And here's the other group, the last group, conscientious, or the C style. They're very much compliance um, focused in terms of what they do. They're analytical. They enjoy facts and details. They're very thorough in all activities. They are precise, sensitive, and analytical. If you ever need an SOP to be written down, these are the people that you need to go to, simply because not only will they produce fantastic work, they enjoy doing that work too. Okay, so folks, a little bit about myself. My name is Ibnu. With Teamwork Bound for about 14 years. We've done close to about 11 years of consulting with different companies, a degree in education, a master's in instructional design from Nanyang Technological University. So do look out for our future webinars where I will still dwell on DISC, and we're going to give you nuggets in terms of sharing with you case studies of groups, anecdotal groups of people they've actually worked with. So I hope you enjoyed this webinar. Subscribe to us, drop us a note, tell us what you want, and we will avail that. Okay, bye-bye.